Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to Yovir and Tor. This is a super fun Age of Sigmar narrative campaign. Now, it's already gone out, but half of it was put in the MiniWarGaming vault. But thanks to our recent 24-hour live stream and a fundraiser we did, we're going to put out the entire thing for free. So we're going to put it out all again over the next few weeks. So this has all been recorded. So if you see anything that suggestions you want, we'll of course put them in the comments and we'll be able to use them for future narrative campaigns. But sit back and enjoy Yogvir and Tor.
Last time on Yogvir and Tor, Yogvir, Tor, and the Ravikan allies managed to get through the passage and into the main area, the main mountain pass in the high plateau of Thar Soren, the seat of the kingdom of Tharland. And they could see in the distance the city of Tharnhelm, but they could also see that it was sieged on all sides by hundreds of encampments of Oryx. They had no idea how they got there before them. They must have been a vanguard sent weeks in advance, which did not seem normal for the Oryx horde that was coming. On top of that, as Yogvir and Tor scanned the plateau, Tor caught wind of a huge rock idol that was walking around and realized that they had created an effigy which was then animated by the greenskin magics. And it was keeping the city from sending out their garrison to deal with the Oryx. Tor and Yogvir realized that they had to deal with this rogue idol, and so decided to sneak past the encampments and deal with it themselves, so that then the allies could come out of the city and destroy the Oryx. They couldn't find a perfect place to cross. There was the closest they could get would bring them near an Oryx encampment, and as they got near it, the Oryx saw them and started charging out. But very unlike Yogvir, he was so set on dealing with this big rock idol that he decided to ignore them and started sprinting at full pace. Tor barely trying to keep pace behind him, shooting a few arrows back and taking down a few of the greenskins. When all of a sudden Yogvir turns the corner and almost bumps straight into the rogue idol, grins at it as it roars in its rocky roar, and Tor unleashes a huge avalanche of arrows which break apart much of the rogue idol. And then Yogvir charges in, and with great effort, he just destroys it really fast. And it just fell and it got dust all over him. And just like that, the Oryx ran away from these awesome monsters who must be gods to have taken down their effigies so effortlessly. And that's it. That's all they had to do. It was so easy. They've gotten so strong. Let's find out what happens this week on Yogvir and Tor.
We play and call it work.
Yogvir, Yogvir and Tor. Yogvir and Tor, looking for more. Yogvir and Tor. Yogvir, Yogvir and Tor. Yogvir and Tor, looking for more. Yogvir and Tor.
Deep in the caverns that hollowed the plateau Tharnhelm was built atop, a vast tide of mad-eyed, dark-robed figures swarmed through the darkness towards long-closed cave entrances that led to the surface. Hundreds of bouncing, hopping things followed them, prodded forth by pointed sticks. Hundreds of barrels of fermented fungus grog were piled at each entrance, as several dark-robed figures eagerly awaited with torches. In a singular cavern, filled with stagnant pools and an air thick with choking spores, a coven of degenerate shamans chattered among themselves, away from the building frenzy of the horde. They muttered of hallucinations, visions, shuddering as they were racked by periodic bouts of madness, sickness, and self-proclaimed prophecy.
The time of the bad moon comes! Near it sweeps across the skies to blot out the earthy little thing!
His voice carried through cave, ringing off the stalagmites and pillars, and causing the other shamans to twitch.
Great bits! The stupid war boss be making a big loud wah up neath the earthy little thing just as planned.
The deranged shaman's voice rose, echoing unnaturally through the network of caverns to the vast hordes of grots making for the surface, spurring waves of excitement through them.
But the noisy nonsense all the bigger gets is a distraction.
The shaman's voice screeched through the deeps.
'Cause it's us that'll get the last laugh. The biggest, baddest, and maddest one they seen on this corner, oh god! The gloom's bite is on us now, and the bad moon is coming. It's time you gets that we be up and at it. Prophet Wag Mugget, the shroom guggler, tells you that the age o' the Grat is now.
Whatever the mad cave shamans had divined did seem to have some bearing, for at roughly the same time, in a dilapidated astronomer's tower leaning off the central keep of Tharnhelm's royal palace, astromancer Veld Hishborn pondered his strange finds. Scratching his head, Veld called for a scribe to take notes and began to orate his calculations. After a few moments, he mumbled his conclusions. A procession of occultations of star clusters along a radial pathway from 19 degrees azimuth to the zenith, he rambled. Marked retrograde motions of all planetoids along the pathway. Sigmar, something is disrupting the heavens. Something immense. Scrambling from his desk to the great telescope at his tower's open dome, he uncapped the lens and aimed it high into the sky. Even though the sky still shimmered in twilight, his telescope pierced the dusky haze. If it continues along its path, he mumbled mostly to himself, it'll directly pass through the Void-Light Gate constellation and... He trailed off. He would need to report his findings to the Collegiate Arcane soon, and this greenskin menace would certainly make that difficult. Adjusting the angle of his mirrors, he zoomed in on a peculiar blur. It was roughly where he calculated the disturbance to be. In the blurry, pallid haze, he adjusted the image until it became clear. It was a face, twisted into a leering, crescent-like sneer, gazing mockingly down on the world below. No, he muttered in abject horror, suddenly breaking into a fit of coughing as his skin began to itch profusely. Not you! Just as the scribe called out a terrified warning, mushrooms began spreading from his skin, and molds grew over him, rooting him to the ground. In his final moments, he realized that this leering moon would disturb the precarious balance of the Void-Light Gate. Worse still, he realized he was too late to warn anyone. It would happen too fast. The gravitational pull of the leering moon would pull the rest of the Void-Light Gate into reality. It was all coming to fruition, just as the mad elf Cirrus had warned him of so many years ago. Meanwhile, on the walls of Tharnhelm, oblivious to the threat arriving from below, or the portents of doom aligning in the sky, the defenders prepared to make their final stand before a blood-red setting sun. The green tide was here. The vast horde of Oryx and Grots moved across the plateau like a flood, encroaching upon the insignificant hilltop city. From where Tor stood, atop one of the rickety palisade towers, the horde's movements looked like liquid. This'll be a good fight, Yogvir muttered beside him. This will be our last fight, Tor corrected. Yogvir shrugged. Don't care. Lots of orcs to kill. Tor rolled his eyes. He had to assume the Lady of Sorrows had known that what was coming. He merely wondered what she'd sent him here to find. Certainly it wasn't to find a futile death attempting to defend some insignificant human settlement. The cloying dread he felt told him that something worse than the Oryx was coming. He gazed up at the sky to the constellation of the Void-Light Gate, the stars which the Indraveri had made their foul offerings to. Atravos stars. The star cluster hung at its zenith, directly above Tharnhelm. That was an ill omen already. Jahani, the Ravikan chiefess, joined them, glaring down at the greenskins. She was staring at the trio of towering gargants that loomed over the rest of the horde. We have to kill those, if they break down the wall. Tor nodded grimly. Whatever the Lady of Sorrows had told him to watch for would have to wait, because the greenskins were already beginning their rush. With a vast roar that sounded like a building tempest, the Oryx began their first assault. The latent energy in the air made Tor's hair stand on end. The elf shook his head in disbelief and dread. This was only the first wave, and he doubted Tharnhelm would even survive that. Orcs for days! Yogvir and Tor find themselves on the walls wondering what in the world got them there.
Oh, there are a lot of orcs here.
There are a lot of orcs. And you don't quite know your objective yet, except just to defend the walls.
Okay.
Again, so they're basically just joining the defense. Now, obviously, we're not going to be, I'm just going to tell you right straight up front, we're not going to be rolling for everything, except we're going to be rolling for anything that involves Yogvir and Tor. Everything else will be narrated as to what is happening. But they are ready for a siege. They're bringing ladders, they're bringing battering rams, they're bringing siege towers, and they are coming for your walls. Yeah, they probably keep that close.
Yeah, they probably keep that close.
Until they get there. Oh, look, they all died from the arrows and the guns. And we've got all sorts of people manning the walls, ready to fight. And Yogvir and Tor up there as well. Hope that Tor brought enough arrows.
Oh yeah, look at this little hole right here. He's been clearing this whole section out.
Yeah, it's just all you see is dead bodies and arrows. Well, he would have been shooting already. And unfortunately, we can't quite, it's being a miniature war game, we can't quite depict how awesome this would look, because there's actually tens of thousands of orcs coming, and there's hundreds and some maybe thousands of defenders,
Yeah,
but
12 arrows.
you are outnumbered quite a bit to quite a little. And so let's just start and see what happens. So right off the bat, these savage orcs have made it to the wall, and they put up the ladder and they start to climb it. They're not up there yet, though. But they're cornering around it. So you see, obviously this is going to be their strategy, is to overwhelm your forces with their siege ladders. And the ones over here also toss up their ladder near the other defenders, with the tower coming closer, but not quite there yet. And everything else just advances. So what are you guys going to do, Yogvir and Tor?
I'm readying at the wall, at that ladder, with my sword out, ready to just chop off the first head that comes up.
You could also kick the ladder.
Oh, okay, then I'll kick the ladder.
So you want to kick the ladder? So we're kind of in a loose narrative sense right now.
It's like one of
Once
those-
we get into fights, we'll start to roll dice and everything. So you want to kick the ladder?
Yeah, it's one of those Urkai ladders that like latch on as it hits the top.
No, it's just a ladder.
And then I'll kind
They're
of
not nearly as complex.
I'll wiggle it over, like, oh.
Kabam! so you kick it back, and it just lands on a couple of the orcs, and they go flying. They don't die from it, but they go flying as you maniacally laugh down at them. And then Tor decides to pepper down at the catapult crew.
Sir.
All right, so yeah, you aim and fire. You knock out 3 of them. You can see that slows them down. So the rest of the gunners and the cannons fire out. You can see orcs flying everywhere. I'm not going to actually remove any of them yet, because there's just more that are swarming in and replacing them. But you can see that they are being semi-effective, but there's just, for everyone they kill, it seems like 2 take their place. Jahara attempts to kick down this ladder, but the Ard boys are actually too strong for her to be able to face off against it. So they manage to get up and start fighting her and these poor saps that are up here, as they come up and just start swinging around and taking them out. So you see them flying off the walls and fighting for their lives as they go against these Ard boys, but they're clearly outmatched. With a huge roar, an enormous bone grinder gargant stomps in and starts heading straight towards the gates.
Oh, jeez.
And you did see these off in the distance, and you know that this thing will have the capability to kick open those siege gates way faster than any other siege equipment that they have. So obviously he is a priority. And then the ladder gets pushed back up, but only a few of the savage orcs make it up because they were slowed by the fact that you did that. So we'll fight those in a second. And these orcs get their ladder further up. Just going to grab from the back and put them at the front. I'm not moving the buttons in the back that far, just to show that it got closer. Jig, 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 jig. Kabam! Obviously not to scale. So the orcs are about to charge out, which would obviously be a problem for this part of the wall. And these guys are scattered as the bone grinder gargan comes through. You just see them kind of like shoved to the side as he's just making his way through their lines, and they have to scramble to pick back up their siege ladder. The 2 savage orcs that are next to Yogvir will attack him. We got 2 hits, and we got 2 wounds. And 4 up saves.
4 up.
Oh, he makes them both, shrugs them off, then he swings back.
This is a huge sword on 2s, trying to take him out. Nice, here we go. This is the game. This is his game.
3s to wound.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. Yeah, they get their 6 up no matter what. We stopped one of them, so you only do D3 wounds.
I kill one.
You kill one of them.
orc.
You kick one back. Blam! Lies dead on the ground. And then you swing your mighty axe, and you miss.
It's
Just going to skip straight to the shooting phase. You guys don't have anything to hero or movement phase you want to do?
no. I'm tangling.
So shooting phase, what are you going to do?
I'm going to lean over the edge there and fire an explosive shot into this tower.
So it reduces your attacks to 1, but then it hits everything within 3 inches. Hit on 2. That's a hit. Give me a wound roll right here, just a singular one.
Oh no!
All right, well, it didn't blow up the tower. So it smashes in the tower and explodes. Now we'll roll wound rolls for everybody. We'll say that it hits every orc inside, so it's 6 hits. So you're wounding them on 3s, right? Mm-hmm. And then they get their 4 up saves, because there's no rend to an explosive shot. Oh!
Wow, 1 damage.
So the explosion racks inside of there. You see them all kind of shake to the side, but none of them are really hurt.
Down.
Yeah. And then Yogvir.
I'm just gonna try and click through these remaining 2 orcs. Huge sword! 2 misses.
Oh, 2 misses. Dude.
And 2 wounds though.
2 wounds, unless I roll 6 ups. I do not. So D3 damage each. Can you kill both of them?
Yeah, I do!
He just gets a little more concentration and he kicks them both off.
What phase can I kick a ladder down? Movement phase?
Oh, no, you can kick it down now because
Alright.
you're free. So you kick the ladder back down, which will slow them down in their ability to get back up.
Wall.
It's almost at the gate. You can see that it's the same height, pretty much, as where Tor is. He's almost looking at it directly at the face as it approaches the walls. The orcs then barrel out of here, barely phased by the explosive shot, and they're just cutting through these lines. This wall is falling very quickly. But Jahara is Jahara, after all. And with the aid of a little bit of help here, she does fend off the Ard boys from this side a little bit, but it's still looking pretty grim over here. These orcs put the ladder back up. Bam!
Jerks.
But they don't have anybody ascending it quite yet. You've disrupted their lines enough. These ones arrive, though, and put up their little ladder, which we're going to count as being a bigger ladder. And so there's going to be a bunch of them swarming around that, getting ready to climb. The cannon desperately takes a shot at the huge gargant. So the cannon, you get 2 shots, hitting on 4s. Boop. Oh, they miss! They miss wildly. Back to you guys. Anything in your hero phase?
I got nothing. I'm safe. Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
Look, okay, the problem is, like, I'm gonna jump into Savage Orcs. I was thinking maybe I just kind of do that little leap over the edge, land on some Savage Orcs, and then go cut up his toes. But I don't want to.
I don't think you should go over the wall. I don't think you should go over the wall, Yogvir!
No, I think I'm okay. I don't think I'm that ridiculous.
No?
I think I'm good here.
You're happy killing orcs?
I'm happy killing orcs.
You can go through this building and end up over here. You just can't kick over the ladder at the same time. So you'll be leaving these guys to the fate of all these orcs swarming up.
Oh,
Your other flank will be lost.
All right, I'm gonna go over where Tor is.
So movement phase. Just push these guys aside. Hey, Tor.
Want to see something cool?
You die to move.
You gonna anything for your movement there, Tor?
Oh, yeah. We're gonna climb up to here. I need better sights.
And then shooting phase?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at that giant's head.
You gonna do a headshot?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna boost that as well. Everything here, I'll use the boost.
Just use the boost. That way you can exchange all the other attacks. 1 headshot, hitting on a 2. Oh, it hits. Winning on a 3. Oh, no.
Oh, cringe. I feel the pain.
Oh.
I hate your dice. They're the worst.
I use my dice.
I gotta get some dice.
Okay, go get your dice. Charge phase.
No.
So
Any charges?
So if I was to leap off the rampart, what is the rule for this? Or do you want me to just declare a charge and we'll figure it out from there?
Well, okay, so you'd have to leap down first.
Right.
So you'd have to roll. That's a pretty long jump. If it was over here, I would say it's like a 2+, but over here it's a 3+. Anything but a 3+, you land on your face, you take some damage.
Ah, and then I'm surrounded by hundreds of orcs.
Yeah, and you'll count as knocked down, which is obviously bad. And if you make it, then you can declare your charge.
I'm going to... Oh, man. Why? He's probably got 80 wounds. Like, oh.
I told the guys beforehand that they can't assume anything about statistics of big stuff that enters the table.
It's not even my cards. Oh! A 3-up is so hard. It's like I fail and I die. Like that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, I'll do it. Whatever.
Yogvir and Tor. Oh! So close!
Why?
Blam!
I hate this game.
So you count as knocked down and take D3 mortal wounds. You take 3 mortal wounds.
Can I maybe...
Do you ignore them on 6s?
No.
No, you take 3 mortal wounds.
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh no, Yogvir!
Come on.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking about waiting one.
Yogvir and Floor.
Oh.
Oh. The Gargant looks confused. Just... Okay.
I didn't even want to do it. I didn't even want to do it.
Stop her from getting a gate for a turn.
I know. I'm thinking, I'll just wait. Tor will do it. I'm just going to kill whatever orcs come up here. And then that's like, you could always charge them. Like, what do you mean I can charge them? What do you mean? I can...
You're such a moron.
Now this is during their turn, so the Savage Orcs continue to swarm up.
Sorry, boys, didn't hit the ladder. I'm going to go jump off and kill myself instead.
They understand. These ones are getting ready to charge in there. There's more, just so you know, there's more reinforcements inside the towers. They're getting ready to come out too. So it's not like there's only 10 guys on each side.
Wait a second.
Wait, back up. Tor had an idea. Once again, coming to save the day. So, you want to leap down and try to charge him?
Yeah.
So we're going to, after he went down, so first off, you're a little more agile. So you only need a 2+. Okay, it's 5. He's like, choo, choo, choo. Parkour, hardcore parkour. And he lands right there and then charges. And 3 inches. Well, you would have jumped down just outside of 3 inches. So yes, you are in. And so you were up against the big Gargant, and you also managed to charge. Although, yeah, no, you would have had to bring them in too. So you jump down there. Now, since it's your turn, you get to fight first.
Yes.
You ready?
Yeah.
So you slice at his toes.
Yeah, I'm gonna disengage after this, so use the card.
Elbow blades.
So 3s and 3s.
Oh! And they're -1, so
Yeah.
5 up saves. Oh, you cut through him a little bit. Ow!
I got that little pinky toe.
We're going to count up for how many wounds you do to this big guy. Because reasons. And then you're going to use your disengage card, which says after you make a melee attack, you can immediately retreat.
Run behind him.
Okay.
We're safe.
Well, you're not safe yet. It's my turn next. Okay. So he's like, "Urgh, little elf." And he comes up. More of these soldiers come down to support Jahara. And she's holding her own, although the Iron Jaws are coming up here and slaughtering more of these free guild, these free people. And the big Gargant will declare a charge.
Hey.
Doesn't roll a double 1. Blam! And he's mad at that elf. So he goes to swing for the elf unless...
I'm gonna misdirect them and boost it.
What's the boost?
So misdirection says that I have to attack Yogvir instead. And you're going to boost it so I get -1 to hit him and wound him. And you're going to boost it with what?
I'm gonna get rid of a... Oh,
Awesome
goodness.
combo? Smoke grenade?
Yeah, awesome combo.
Get rid of one of your awesome combos. Swings down with his gargantuan club, 3d6 attacks. So it's got, just 17. I rolled. So he is 3s and 3s. Okay, you ready? But it's 4s and 4s.
Right.
Because of the misdirection.
Is it -1 to wound as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then 4s to wound instead of 3s. Oh!
Hey, it mattered.
Yep. These are only -1 rend, but they're 2 damage apiece. So you get 5 up saves. 5 up saves!
And I...
Oh!
Oops, I-
8 wounds. 8 wounds, which you ignore on 6s. You'll be okay, you'll be okay. So 7 of them get through. So the first 2 get you down to 1 wound, and then you get 5 injury rolls.
5 ones. Are you ready for this? 5 ones. I tried.
Not a 6, though.
Oh, that's important.
Yes. So you take 1 flesh wound from all of that. So somehow Yogvir rolling around misdirects the big Gargant's blows so much that it just smashes somewhat into Yogvir and hurts, but doesn't kill him. And then you can slice at him if you like. Got 3 attacks hitting on 3s and 3s, -1, so 5 up. He fails 1, so he's taking his 2nd wound. He's just slicing at his feet. It's slice, 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 slice. He's like, "Urgh."
Until he's tended.
So now it's your hero phase. Unfortunately, Yogvir can't do anything in his hero phase because he's knocked down. So-
I will feed him a health surge.
okay.
Though.
So you're going to health surge. So a model within 2 inches regains D3 wounds. And you're going to awesome combo that. And if you boost this, by the way, it becomes 6 inches. So boosting it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but I want to boost the mark, so I will probably boost anyway.
So you're going to mark that. So you're going to mark the Gargant so you reroll all hits and rolls because you're going to boost it. What are you going to boost it with?
And I get home.
You're running out of cards already. Want to hit better?
Yeah, we're getting rid of a hit better.
Okay. So then in the movement phase, you can stand up.
I will.
Now you get, hold on, we get your D3 wounds back first though, because
Yeah.
so Steve, you get to roll that because you're the one feeding it to him.
Ah,
So 3, so you get the wound token off, and you regain. You're already at 1 wound, so you're back up to 3 wounds. So whenever you take
one
the,
more turn of life.
I also want to drink my elixir of speed.
so that gives you +1 attack and +3 movement. So then we go for a shooting attack.
We're gonna headshot him.
You're gonna go for another headshot.
Yeah.
And you're gonna boost it.
Yeah, and that one's gonna get used with, man, the explosive shot.
Get rid of the other explosive shot. Jeez, you're running out of cards, man.
Well, this would not.
So this should be a little easier. You got 2s to hit re-rolling, and then
Hey.
3s to wound re-rolling.
Hey.
Okay. And it's a -5 rend at this point.
5d6
So 5d6 damage.
I like it.
So 11, 22 damage. So you've done 22 damage. It looks pretty hurt. You shoot the arrow up straight through its face. You're like a but it doesn't fall yet. It's kind of like wiggling on the spot, getting ready to swing its huge club, but it looks very, very weakened.
The next logical step is to take it out at the ankles.
Leading us to the close combat phase. So who wants to attack first?
Dr. Yogvir.
Dr. Yogvir.
Professor Yogvir here.
I'm assuming you want to use a card or 2?
I will use a mighty streak.
So Mighty Strike, which gives you +1 range, +1 rend, and all rolls for damage are maxed, and you want to boost it for double attacks?
I think I should just for the. I'm gonna get rid of. I don't think I need sprint in this situation.
I don't know. He might need it in a moment. So you get 8 attacks, hitting on 2s. It's marked, so you get to reroll everything. Wounding on 3s, rerolling. Oh, good thing. It's a good thing you're
How do I
rerolling.
fail 5 of those?
There
we go.
Okay. So you're -2 rend total, right?
Yes.
Because Mighty Strike is an extra rend.
Yep.
So I get 6 up saves against this because it's -2 rend.
Oh,
Saved one of them. So that's 15 wounds.
Yes.
You just slice in so hard, you take him off at the ankles. These are in between the arrow through his head. He starts to fall.
And the lack of a foot.
Now we're gonna roll off, and basically, if you win the roll off, he falls this way. If I win the roll off, he falls that way.
Can't he fall this way?
Can he fall that way?
Well, it's one I get to choose. You get one. You get to choose.
Okay.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, yeah. You know what?
I want him to fall in the siege
Yeah.
tower.
If you win the roll off by at least 2, I'll have him fall in the siege tower instead. So you win the roll off. You
Wait,
win.
wait. We win the roll off we pick.
Don't we pick if we win the
Not
roll
by
off?
+2.
What rules are you going by?
Isn't that his rule?
Wait, you think I'm using his rules?
That's fair. That's fair.
No, it's not fair.
That's fair.
Something's fair.
If we win it by 2.
You do that in match play to make it so that it's kind of, but it's supposed to be random, really, where he's falling, right?
That's true. We scatter diet. We're
We're narrative.
Oh, we scatter
Oh,
diet.
we just scatter diet.
We get 4 random. It's actually worse for us. I don't care.
I was gonna say, but then it makes it worse.
We want to do real 2 scatter diet.
Scatter diet.
It's just scatter diet.
Okay, well, scatter diet. But I gotta warn you, if it points at all, then it'll hit any part of this tower. It'll destroy the gate.
That's whatever. How's he gonna destroy the game by falling into
Yeah, it
it?
doesn't make sense. It's meat.
Yeah. This is stone.
It's stone, Matthew.
You ready?
And even with the...
Who would like to do the honors?
I'll do whatever.
Hey, roll it right here, nice and close.
If we get the direct arrow,
If we get the direct, we go by the arrow.
Right.
He doesn't just crumple it straight to the ground.
If I throw it that way, it'll go that way.
Oh, no! Oh, bam!
No, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Oh, I should have said that aloud.
Bam!
Boom! Get
It just keeps going. Bam!
It's always worked out for you. It doesn't make any sense.
Cool I am.
As the Gargant slumped against the splintered tower, the Oryx paused in their onslaught, dismayed at the fall of such a mighty ally. But the beat of immense wings and the shadow of a massive wyvern soaring overhead quickly spurred them onward. It circled once, the huge Oryx riding it, roaring guttural commands to his minions below. Descending, it crunched onto the wall, crushing palisade logs and squelching bodies beneath it. The immense wyvern roared with primal fury. The Oryx chieftain riding it was perhaps as fearsome as the beast it rode. Encased in beaten, jagged armor plates, the warlord pointed forth his brutish blade. His voice was like a rumbling avalanche, so deep and fearsome that even Yogvir paused to regret his life's choices that had led him up to this point.
Sergeant Umis, that's the last time you get smuck up the plan, oh warboss Greebits egg juggler, 'cause I'm here now to stomp you gets into the ground.
Yogvir felt the very unfamiliar sensation of fear overwhelm him, and he looked for an avenue of escape. Tor was already nowhere to be seen. Unfortunately, he never got the chance to run as the savage wyvern began to bound towards him.
The big mega bosses descended down and crushed the cannon that was underneath them, roaring down at Yogvir, who, like I said in the story, looks over his shoulder, and Tor's not there anymore. Even all the other orcs are both distracted by and inspired by the wyvern and the mega boss showing up, but they leave a wide berth.
Oh.
They don't charge Yogvir. Partly probably because of fear of after watching him take down the Gargant, but also knowing whose kill he belongs to.
Okay, I'm comprehending this situation.
Yeah.
It's not great.
He roars a mighty roar, and then whoo, blam, lands a respectable distance away. The wyvern all of a sudden roars forward with an innard busting bellow, and then on a 2+, you'll feel its effects. Then on a 3+, its effects will do something to you. Oh no! For some reason, your armor might help you. 5+. Oh, you got out to 5+.
I deflect his sound with my armor. I can see it ricocheting off. I can see the...
Makes total sense.
You might want to do one of that hero face things, you get a bunch of wounds.
I didn't give you a chance to say it, but would you like to use defensive fury?
Always defensive fury, and I'll use the other sprint for... Oh, I like sprint though.
So you can just roll the d6 temporary wounds. You don't have to just...
Yeah, I'll roll it, yeah.
You're gonna roll it?
No, confidence.
Yeah.
These games are won through confidence. You
You can hear towards the wall. No!
That's bullshit!
How about...
I know what he does when he charges!
Oh, you are going to boost it?
I will.
Okay.
I will.
So that gives you 6 temporary hit points, which will save you from its charge that's about to happen.
It's easy, we're 6 hit points.
And then with a roar, he charges. Anything but a double 1 and he makes it to you. 9. We're good.
I mean, a double 1 would be awful.
Bam!
Anticlimactic.
As it crashes into you, you can feel the bulk of the wyvern smashing you against the wall behind. Each 4+ is a mortal wound.
This makes Yogvir uncomfortable.
Oh, only 3. You ignore them on 6s.
I
You
take
ignore,
2.
yeah, you take 2 of them. So your temporary hit points are down to 4. After which, it attacks. The mega boss slashes down with his big gore hacka, hitting on 3s, wounded on 3s. Ooh, just 1. -1 rend, so 5 up. Oh, look at you! Deflects it with your armor.
This is the turn.
Then he tries to punch you or hit you with the smaller weapon, the scrap tooth. 2 hits, 2 wounds, no rend, so you get 4 up.
No, that's both fail.
Both fail, so 6 up. Oh, he
It's awful.
But then the wyvern, the maw crusher, attacks with his mighty fist.
This is bad.
2s to hit. Oh, we got 3 hits. 3s to wound. All 3.
Oh.
These are -2 rends. You get 6 up saves. No, and they're 2 damage. No, 3 damage apiece.
That's 1.
You've only got 7 wounds left.
6s? No, not a single
1,
free
2,
one.
3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 3 injury checks, but let's finish. He swings his tail at you twice, hitting on 4s, wounded on 3s. 2 wounds, -1, so 5 up. Both failed, 6 up to ignore that. Both failed, so that's 5 total injury checks.
This is the 5 ones.
Okay, 5 ones.
Oh, we got a 6. You're knocked down.
Boom.
So all that rolling, you couldn't not roll a 6 at the end there, right?
That would have been nice.
It would have been nice, because then you could strike him back. So you got
That'd be
you're
pretty
knocked
nice.
flat on your back,
I am.
and you take a flesh wound. So you're not dead yet, but in a moment you will be. And then it's your hero phase. Yogvir, you can't do squat because you're laying flat on your back.
I got lots to do.
You got lots to do?
I'm gonna order that door.
What happened to your hair, man?
It's just no, bro. I'm ordering his gate open.
Opening the gate. Oh, the gate opens. You can leave the portcullis down. It's about to get blasted open anyways. So now you and the organ gun can see it. What'd you like to do in your hero phase?
We're gonna meditate, but we're gonna boost it with, man, I need everything here.
Are you gonna awesome combo it?
Yeah.
Or- So you're gonna awesome combo the meditate and mark, I'm guessing?
Yes.
So you need to boost one more thing.
I know. Oh, I gotta get rid of this hit better, unfortunately, because I think I need everything else.
Okay, so now you can flip over 3 cards that you didn't just flip over.
Yes. So we're gonna get Mark back.
One of the marks. One of the
We're
headshots.
gonna get one of the headshots.
Oh, we'll just do this.
And we're under here. I think I want an awesome combo back. No, I don't need awesome combo back.
And a misdirect.
Yep.
Ooh, okay, Mr. Controller. Shooting phase.
We're gonna multi-shot that.
You're not going for the headshot?
Oh no, I need the AP. I need headshot for sure.
Headshot.
3 up armor.
You're gonna drink your last elixir of speed as well to get your extra attack?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 shot, 2s to hit, re-rolling, 3s to wound. Okay, that's like -5 rend, so it ignores my 3 up. 5d6 damage. 11. Once again, counting up because we don't know how many wounds he has. He's up to 11 wounds. And then you're going to fire the organ gun.
Yeah.
Now the organ gun can fire just once, or which you can fire one of his barrels, which is d6 shots. And you know they do 1 damage each.
At least two barrels.
Okay, but if you fire more than 1 barrel, you got to roll a die, and you roll equal to or higher than the number of barrels you're firing. If you roll less, it jams and doesn't fire at all. It can fire up to 4 barrels. But if you roll 4 barrels, you got to roll 4+. There's no way to re-roll this. So how many barrels? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
2 barrels.
2 barrels. So you got to roll a die. You got to roll 2+ first. Oh, there's the 4. 2d6 shots. 11 shots. 3s to hit, but you've marked it, so your allies get to re-roll. Oh, jeez. Okay, that helped. 3s to wound. Oh, re-roll those. All hail the mark. -1 rend. It's like
-1. Ugh.
yeah,
That makes
it's
sense.
supposed to be lots of shots,
Yeah.
right? So 4 up saves.
Woo!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
With an enraged roar, the war boss goaded his wounded beast forward, bowling Tharlander and Greenskin alike from the wall. Tor saw Yogvir flung over the palisade before crashing through the roof of a smithy.
As the charging monster neared Tor's position, the elf managed a terrified yelp before diving out of the way. Crashing into the shrubberies beside a burning townhouse, everything went gray. He heard a terrible screech and the beat of monstrous wings. Footsteps tromped towards him as he attempted to stand, groaning in pain. "Not now," he hissed, seeing bulky shapes approach through the smoke. Shaking his head vigorously, he extricated himself from the shrub, his vision returning just as he knocked an arrow and aimed at his assailants. He stopped. It was Jahani, the Ravikan chiefess. "Whoa there!" she called. Other Ravikans rushed in, pelting the oryx with javelins and bowfire. The greenskins that had taken the walls were quickly repulsed by the tribesmen. With their monstrous leader routed, the greenskins quickly lost heart before the hail of projectiles and flung themselves from the wall to escape the murderous volleys. Jahani laughed before turning to Tor, giving him a metal flask. "Drink! It's shaman's draught. It'll fix you up right good." Gulping the vile liquid down, Tor nearly retched before pointing at the smithy. "Yogvir!" he grunted. The chiefess rushed into the smithy, quickly finding an unconscious Yogvir and hoisting him over her shoulders. Tor wasn't certain how she did that. "We must retreat," he managed. "More are coming." As if on cue, Tor saw savage, tattooed oryx ride new ladders that swung up onto the walls. The hulking brutes leapt off, carving into the regrouping Tharlanders. More oryx followed behind the savage warriors, spilling in like water through cracks in a dam. Jahani shook her head. "Grah! I hate running, but fine, Ravikans!" she called. "Fall back to the keep. The walls are lost."